10 interesting facts about the human body. Welcome. Today, I am excited to share with you 10 fascinating facts about the human body. Let's dive in and discover some amazing information about our amazing machine. 10. Swallowing and breathing. Fact: humans are the only mammals that cannot swallow and breathe at the same time. Other mammals, including non-mammals, can breathe while eating. In fact, babies can do this too, but they lose this ability at around 9 months old, when the larynx begins to develop. In humans, the larynx is located too low in the throat compared to other animals, which allows humans to produce longer-lasting sounds and more vocalized sounds, which contribute to speech. 9. Second brain. Fact: we have a second brain in our gut. The human body has about 100 million nerve cells that extend from the esophagus to the anus, also known as the enteric nervous system. This second brain does not have consciousness, but it is responsible for digestion and even more. If you have ever felt anxious or had a gut feeling when you heard bad news, the cause lies in the enteric nervous system. The enteric nervous system also plays a role in mood formation in general, and explains why certain foods can help change mood, and why bad news or negative emotional states can make you lose your appetite. 8. Loneliness. Fact: loneliness feels like a physical wound. You may already know this. But why is that? A team of researchers at the University of California asked volunteers to play a computer game that simulated a simple game of tag between two people. But they didn't know that the other player was actually just a computer program, and that it was programmed to quit after a few minutes, causing the volunteer to feel lonely and rejected. Scientists found that this feeling of loneliness appeared and was processed in the anterior cingulate cortex, which is also the area that processes the feeling of physical pain from a physical wound. This explains why humans crave social acceptance and seek out friends, as well as helps us understand the power of herd influence. Scientists also hope to use this information to help us explain and find appropriate treatment for the psychological condition depression and despair. 7. Saliva. Fact: saliva is produced more before vomiting. This is how the body reacts to protect body parts such as the throat, teeth, and mouth. We all know that stomach acid has a very high acidity level. The body's secretion of saliva before vomiting helps to dilute, neutralize acid, and rinse the mouth so that acid spilling from the stomach does not harm your body. That's also why we should rinse our mouth and brush our teeth after vomiting. 6. Body loves sweet things. Fact: sugar can help wounds heal faster. Traditional African healers still treat wounds by applying mashed sugarcane to the wound. Moses Morandu is a nurse who had seen his father use these healing methods in Africa, and was very surprised to see that doctors in England did not use them. He began to research this method of treatment and tested it on patients with pressure sores and foot ulcers before bandaging the wound. Patients found that sugar can help reduce pain and kill bacteria that interfere with the healing process. The reason is that sugar is hygroscopic, so it absorbs the water that bacteria need to survive. Sugar is also much cheaper than modern antibiotics. So, the next time you cut your hand, sprinkle a little sugar on it before bandaging the wound. 5. Memory. Fact: we may not remember why we went into a room. Have you ever walked into a room and couldn't remember why you were there? And then have you ever noticed that sometimes you can remember the reason after you go back out? Here is the answer. Researchers at Notre Dame conducted a number of experiments on the impact of rooms on our memory. The participants in the experiment were divided into 2 groups, and were given simple tasks while they walked the same distance. The only difference was that one group went through a door while the other group did not. The results of the experiment showed that those who had passed through the door were 3 times more likely to forget their task than those who had not. Clearly, the brain has seen the door as a boundary event and the decision you made when you were inside. The room is stored in this boundary. When you leave, That's why you can remember if you go out of the room. 4. Color range. Fact: women can see more colors than men. According to a study from the University of California, about 50% of women have 4 types of color receptors instead of 3 as normal. People with normal vision when looking at a rainbow can only see 7 different colors, while those with 4 color receptors can recognize up to 10 colors. The reason for this phenomenon is that in women, the red and green light receptors are located on the X chromosome, while the blue light receptor is located on the Y chromosome. Meanwhile, the red and green light receptors allow us to perceive a wider range of colors. There are even women with up to 5 color receptors. This also explains why men are more likely to be colorblind than women. 3. Nose picking. Fact: picking your nose is good for your health. The mucus in the nose helps to filter out harmful substances in the air when we breathe, and the product of this process is dirty snot. So everyone thinks that picking and eating snot is not at all hygienic. But recent research has shown that snot can help us improve our immune system by introducing these harmful substances into the body in small amounts, helping the body to recognize and fight against them. However, after reading this information, you should not sit and pick your snot and eat it, because there is always a certain amount of mucus flowing back down the throat by the movement of the nose hairs. 2. Extra nostril. Fact: you can only breathe out of one nostril at a time. About 85% of people only breathe through one nostril. The interesting thing here is that in these people, the body will automatically switch between the 2 nostrils about every 4 hours, depending on the body position, health status. This happens thanks to the erectile tissue in the nose, similar to that in the penis or clitoris. Erectile tissue slowly swells in one nostril and covers most of the breathing hole, while the tissue in the remaining nostril will shrink, allowing more airflow. In particular, the side of your nose that you breathe also has an impact on your body. If you are breathing through the right nostril, blood sugar will increase and force the body to use more oxygen. In addition, breathing through the right nostril will stimulate increased activity in the left brain, and vice versa. This will be useful in case you need to stimulate activity in the right or left brain region as needed. 1. Blood vessels. Facts: every pound of accumulated fat adds 7 miles of blood vessels. This is why it is easy to understand why obesity and cardiovascular disease always go hand in hand. Most of the new blood vessels are tiny capillaries, but they also include small veins and arteries. This means that if you are overweight by about 10 pounds, your heart has to work to pump blood to these additional 70 miles of blood vessels. Fortunately, the opposite is also true. If you lose a pound of fat, your body absorbs the unnecessary blood vessels. This will motivate dieters a lot because a pound of weight seems insignificant. But if you lose a little bit like that, it will help you have a much healthier heart. The human body is a complex and amazing machine that is still full of mysteries. These 10 interesting facts are just a small glimpse into the many wonders of our bodies. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and have a fantastic day.